What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. And today's Division 2 build video is going to be the best rifle. Well, hold on. Do I want to say the best? Yeah, screw it. The best Railsplitter PvE build in the game. And it's my opinion. If you don't like it, well, let me know in the comments section. But this is a really, really strong Railsplitter build that I wanted to show you. You can try it out. It is a lot of fun, and it is for PvE. So I'll explain the build. We'll do a little bit of gameplay. We'll do the build breakdown, and then you guys can have a great weekend. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. But without further ado, let's get into the Railsplitter. So in today's Railsplitter build, I'm actually using it with Negotiator's Dilemma. Now, in my opinion, the Railsplitter is already a laser beam of a assault rifle. So I figured to put some high crit on it and some Negotiator's Dilemma. So you guys can see, I can mark all these enemies, and then they all go down when I shoot, one of them, see? So I shoot that purple and shoot the red, there you go, and then the purple's down as well. Pretty easy. And then you can do this for up to 3 enemies, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Now the way I have it set up, each of the 3 enemies will get 100% of that crit hit whenever I do it. So you can see I'll have the elite marked, and then I will have, hold on, let me get this, there we go. And then you can see when I shoot one, the other one goes down as well. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and do some gameplay, and then we'll get into the build breakdown. Now, I will tell you right now, this is not an all red build. I do have one blue on here. And the reason I did that is so that you couldn't say it's an all red build. But I do have a blue on this build. It's not all red, I promise. All right, let's see. What are we playing here? We are doing one directive on, what is this? American History Museum. Okay, so one directive, American History Museum. This is on Heroic. And I'm using the Railsplitter. So I'm using the Railsplitter as my primary weapon and the apartment as my secondary weapon. Both of these weapons are PvP exclusive items. So what that means is the only way to get these weapons is either from the Dark Zone vendor, conflict cache, or a named item cache. So you can get these weapons just from a normal named item cache. Therefore, whenever we are doing those global events, make sure that you save your stars for the global events, buy all of the named item caches you can, and then you'll be able to get them without doing any sort of PvP at all. If not, you might have to go into the Dark Zone or wait for a DZ vendor to sell it for you. But all right, so let's get the show on the road. So American History Museum, this is on Heroic with one directive, and let's see how this thing performs. I mean, I can't call it the best without showing it's the best, right? Now, I did join this mission late, so whenever you see my damage compared to everyone else's, just remember that I joined a little bit late. Now, what's cool about the Railsplitter is that it comes with perfectly accurate, which means that it's a laser beam of a weapon. It truly is. And the Negotiator's Dilemma is a lot of fun. Whenever I mark an enemy, I can mark up to 3 different enemies, and every crit hit that I do to one, it'll do to the others that are marked. So if I have more than one enemy marked, all of those crit hits will go to each of the enemies that have that mark. Uh-oh, they're behind us. Now the best thing is for you to mark one enemy and then go to like an elite or like a chunga and then just focus fire them, and then they'll all go down at the same time. Yo, this dog is lighting me up, bro. Ugh. Jesus. Oh, come on. There we go. Thank you, Dodge. You're about 1 second late, but thank you, man. I was about to say I'm about to go down. All right, cool. All right. Now I'm trying to play aggressive. That way I can beat all their damage scores at the end. I did join this, about halfway through the mission, so I'm trying to catch up on that damage. But you guys can see how the Negotiator's Dilemma does like a crowd control. It's really fun to use. And I'm showing you how to do this in a group in a somewhat aggressive manner. I do understand I play pretty aggressive to the average player. But you can use this in a group and really help do the crowd control with that Negotiator's Dilemma. A lot of fun. Oop. And then if I mark that med box, whenever I shoot this enemy, it'll do damage to the med box and vice versa. Pretty cool. And then what I'm going to do is mark this guy down low and then make my way up top and shoot this thing. There we go. But the Railsplitter is a lot of fun. So it has perfectly accurate. And then my secondary is the apartment. So this is the named MPX with perfectly measured. It's perfect doing different sorts of burst damage. And it's also perfect for whenever you are getting the measured active and you hit that bottom half of the magazine. Usually you have your enemies already marked. And therefore, when you get that damage buff, it goes to all of them. It's really sick. What's left? Oh, okay. There we go. And that last hit marker was for 499,000. That's insane. That is insane. All right, let's see here. And they're all down, right? Ooh, that dog hit. There we go. And now I can do damage to both dogs at the same time. See how that helps get both of the dogs down? That was awesome. So both of them went down at the same time. That was pretty sick. Look at that. Now, there are better weapons out there, but I am a huge fan of the Railsplitter. In year one, the Railsplitter came with perfectly measured, just like this apartment. But in year two, with the release of Warlords of New York, they did change it from perfectly measured to perfectly accurate, which it sucks that they changed it that way. But in the same sense, they did make it a laser beam of a weapon. I mean, you see this thing, it's a straight shooter, I promise. It's just insane. Now I'm just trying to get everything I can on a mark. That way when I shoot them... Yeah, that shotty hurt. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, we're flying now. Look at this. They're going down fast. That was it, huh? I think we're gonna get some helicopters. No, we're not even gonna get that. I just got the darkness. Oh yeah, there we go. We do get some helicopters. And then for this, because I'm running demo, ba-da-ba-ba-da. If they even make it to the ground. We'll get another helicopter, right? I think so. Yo, what's hitting me? Hold up. Oh, dang, there's a Wallybot over here. Okay. I see you, Wallybot. Wally Butt's gone. All right. Dang, and I got a baker's dozen for doing this mission. Yo, that's pretty sick. All right, but you can see the negotiator's dilemma with the Railsplitter. It's just a sick combo. It truly is. Now, as far as damage and kills, nah, nearly. So, because I joined this mission so late, I'm only at 350 million damage with 28 kills. But, yeah, no, that's pretty good. 54% accuracy. Now, man, 24 million damage to the named enemy. Let's go down to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Real crit percentage. So my real crit chance is around 42, and my real crit damage is around 55. 42 and 55. And I'm sitting at 44 and 183. Yeesh. It means my crits were hitting, but the way they were getting hit, they weren't getting big numbers. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll do better next time, I promise. I mean, those real crit numbers are based off of my performance. So I only hit like, 52% of my bullets. So that's my mistake. My mistake. All right, let me get out of this group. We'll do our build breakdown. Okay, so you just saw what that looks like in Heroic. Just random mission, randomly. And it does a crap ton of damage. So let's get back into it. Hold on. Let's do the whole spiel. Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the PvE gameplay. Now it's time for your build breakdown. Here we go. Now this is going to be my best Railsplitter PvE build for you guys. And this is for you. If it was to me personally, I would probably put glass cannon on here, make it all reds, and just call it a day. But I understand that for the average PvE player, that's not how they normally run things. So what I did is I put a blue core attribute on here, I put unbreakable on here, and the rest is history. Now looking at the specialization, I am using the demolitionist specialization. No real rhyme or reason except for I get the 7% laser pointer for the weapon attachment. And that bumps me up, 2% of crit chance, which it is what it is. Now, running the Coyote's mask, I do not need to have max crit chance because I'm going to get crit chance from the Coyote's mask. Due to my, my distance away from the enemy, it gives me either 10% or 25% crit chance. So looking at my numbers, I'm already at 44 crit chance. So even if I only got the 10% proc, it's going to put me to 54%. And then whenever I get the 25% proc, it's going to put me over that max cap. Now, for the crit damage, I'm sitting at 183% crit damage. So with the Coyote's mask procced, I can either get 10% or 25%, right? So what I do is I will either get 193% or I'm sitting at over 200% crit damage. But to get that 200% crit damage, I have to be up in their face. And I am only running one blue core attribute. So if you want to play that way for the more crit damage, I would probably recommend you get another blue core attribute. Now, looking at my weapons, I already explained my primary is the Railsplitter with perfectly accurate. It's a laser beam. Now, the way it sits right now, it's at 93.1k total damage. This thing is God rolled, max AR damage, health damage, and damage to targets out of cover. My secondary, like I explained in the gameplay, is the Apartment. This is the named SIG MPX with perfectly measured. Now this one, God rolled as well, max SMG damage, crit chance, and damage to targets out of cover. And then this one is sitting at 114.2k total damage. Now, perfectly measured, the first half of the magazine gets more rate of fire, less damage, and the bottom half of the magazine gives you a slower rate of fire with more damage. So that's why I was saying this is perfect for the Negotiator's Dilemma, because with that faster burst damage, I can get the crits out there quicker and get all of them on Negotiator marks. So by the time I'm at the bottom half of my magazine, I get that damage buff, and then when I shoot one enemy, they all go down. Really sick. I like these two weapons a lot. Now, for my sidearm, I am using the backup boomstick. This thing, 1.3 million total damage with max damage to armor, damage to targets at a cover, and that 17% shotgun damage. I also have close and personal on here, so killing an enemy within 7 meters will give me that 30% damage on top. And that is the weapons. So there's the specialization, the weapons. Let's get into the build. I did put one blue core attribute on here, so you can't say it's an all red build. And I'm sitting at 913k armor. I also have unbreakable, so every time my armor breaks, I get 95% of it back instantly. So that's a nice little cushion there for you. Starting off with the mask, I have the Coyote's mask. This is God rolled, everything's maxed out. Max weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage. I also have a max crit damage mod. Now the talent is Pack Instincts. I already explained, based off of your distance, you get different crits. So it's either 25% or 10%. And that is for you and everyone on your team. Now the chest piece is the Fenris group chest piece. I'm using this to up my base damage. That way my crits are a little bit higher and my non-crits are a little bit higher. You could go Gruppo to get the most bang out of your buck, but that's not going to really help you too much with the other weapons. I don't know. No, it's like a give and take. You could either go Fenris or you could go Gruppo. It depends on what you have. Now, if you're primarily going to use the Railsplitter, go Fenris. But if you want to bounce back and forth between your weapons, use Gruppo. That way you can utilize that crit for everything, whereas Fenris is only good for the primary weapon. And with this being a Railsplitter build, I'm using the Fenris because I am primarily using that Railsplitter. So I want it to hit harder. Now, the Fenris brand set bonus we get from this build, 10% AR damage. It has Unbreakable. I already explained what that does. When your armor breaks, you get it back. And then this is God rolled. Everything's maxed out. Max weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage with a max crit damage mod. Now let's talk about Negotiator's Dilemma. I'm going to explain it with the backpack because the backpack comes with a talent that helps the other bonus. So it's easier for me to explain. All right, Negotiator's Dilemma. Gear set bonuses we get from this build. 15% crit chance, 20% crit damage, and then the talent Hostile Negotiations. So Hostile Negotiations, each crit hit will mark the enemy. You can mark up to 3 enemies. When you mark up to 3 enemies, every time you crit, it does damage to each of those marked enemies. So with critical measures, my damage to additional marked enemies goes from 60% to 100%. So that's why I'm using the backpack. You want 100% of your crit damage to go to all of those enemies. That way they go down quicker. Now it says whenever a marked enemy dies, you'll gain 2% crit damage, stacking up to 20 until combat ends. So I could get upwards of 40% more crit damage while doing 100% damage to each marked target at the same time. This is vital. You want to use the Negotiator's Dilemma backpack with your Negotiator's build. It does a really, really huge amount of damage. Okay. So with that being said, attributes. This one's maxed out, max weapon damage, crit damage, max crit damage mod. Gloves, max weapon damage and crit damage. Knee pads, max armor, haha, gotcha, and max crit damage. And then the holster, max weapon damage, max crit damage. Okay. Now the 2 skills I'm using, Reviver Hive to help me and help others, and the Defender Drone to try to just help me when I'm face tanking, trying to get those marks and get those enemies down. I understand that this is a squishy build for most people. I don't mind it. In fact, if I could have it my way, I would throw Glass Cannon on here as well and change that blue to a red just so I could kill everything. I mean, it's just what I do. I love to run and gun. It's a lot of fun. But this is the build, how I run it. This is, in my opinion, the best way to run the Railsplitter because it's a laser beam. You get those high crits. You get to kill everything really quick. It's a lot of fun. You have a high rate of fire, It's a good time. All right, so let's finish off with the stats, and then we'll get you out of here. 93k weapon damage with 44 crit chance and 183 crit damage. That's before all of the Coyote's Mask procs. 75 headshot damage, and then of course we have the health damage and damage to targets at a cover. Offensive tab, 85% all weapon damage bonus, and I skipped it, 40% AR damage bonus. So every time I use the Railsplitter, it's 125% damage bonus total. I'm running the Negotiator's Backpack, so I do 100% to each enemy that's marked. I'm running Unbreakable to increase the survivability. And I'm running Pack Instincts so that I can hurt all of those enemies at the same time, get higher crits, and help out my team. Defensive tab, 913k armor, 336k health, and 10% explosive and hazard protection. So here's my disclaimer, like I do every build video. I am watch level 2856. That means each of these attribute boxes are maxed out 50 of 50. If you are at or above shade level 1000, you can copy and paste my build and get the exact same numbers and results. However, if you are below shade level 1000, some of these attribute boxes will not be maxed out 50 of 50. Therefore, some of your numbers will not be the same when you copy and paste my build. Do not freak out. This build is still really, really strong. It's just to get the most potential out of your build, you need to be shade level 1000. It is not a requirement. It's a recommendation. So yeah, get to shade level 1000. Come on, do it. And this is my Railsplitter build for PvE. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you're new. I am Kamikazevondoom, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.